Joining me now is veteran broadcaster, the Queen of the Airwaves, we call her, Dee Dee Dunleavy. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Rita.
Let's start with Harry and Meghan and rumours surrounding them and their relationship continue to swirl as the couple spend more time apart. Some media reports are speculating that Harry is deeply disappointed by his fall from grace and is deliberately spending time away from Meghan to rebuild his royal image. Dee Dee, is this union doomed to fail? Is the pressure too much for this couple?
I think everyone is actually probably secretly hoping it's a conscious uncoupling. I don't think it is, but I do think it's interesting that this separation that we're seeing, them both doing different events, that they're explaining as one is going to stay home with the children while the other one does stuff. I'm not sure I completely buy that. But it coincides with their worldwide PR head leaving Team Sussex, the 19th person to leave Team Sussex. I just think that perhaps we're going to see cracks now that maybe this PR person, who by the sounds of it was pretty good at her job, has been covering until now. I don't know. In short, I don't think they're getting divorced.
Well, I just do wonder if Meghan is deeply disappointed with how it's all turned out, because she was the most beloved royal for a period. I remember when she was getting married, I was one of the very few going, I see red flags everywhere with this one, but I was pretty much alone. People were loving her. They were loving this couple. And it was like she was going to be the next Diana. She was going to be the next Princess Grace of Monaco. Yeah. And it certainly hasn't turned out like that.
No, it hasn't. The leopard showed its spots. Like, I personally have never warmed to her, and there's just a feeling that she's manipulating whatever they do, this feeling that he needs to get away from her.
Which I think is unfair, because the man's 40 years old. At some point, he's got to be held responsible for his own actions. And at the end of the day, he's the one who has again and again thrown his family under the bus. They're his family.
But that's what this could be. By all accounts, this doing separate things comes from him. That he's the one saying that perhaps we should separate and do things on different paths, or they had a special term, as those two do, for it.
Yeah.
But I think it's coming from him, that he's the one that wants a bit of space to do things on his own.
Well, his relationship with his family could not be worse, particularly with William. So that in itself is, I guess, motivation enough to do things differently, you would hope, from his point of view.
The fact that he was in London just recently doing some charity events, and I don't believe he caught up with any members of the family.
Oh, that's happened quite often when he's in the UK, and the King and his brother have no time for him. And I can understand, because he has said terribly painful things towards them, knowing full well they can't respond. They're actually working royals, so they can't have this tit-for-tat exchange and say, well, actually, no, that's not true. This is what happened. So it's a free hit, and it's just unedifying, but it does give us material, so we do appreciate it.
Indeed it does.
And to more divorce rumours, sources have claimed that rapper Kanye West and his Australian wife Bianca Censori are headed for a divorce after just 2 years together. Were they ever properly married? I know that he's always called her his wife, but what more can you tell me about this one?
Well, there were questions about the marriage, but it was established that it was actually a genuine marriage. So it's around about 2 years that they've been together. Please don't let this be over. I mean, haven't they given us some bizarre and entertaining appearances all around the world? But it is, fact is, 3 weeks they haven't been seen publicly together. He's in Tokyo. She's believed to be here in Australia with her family.
We probably don't recognise her if we see her on the streets, because she's got clothes on. Throughout her time with Kanye, he has paraded her around pretty much nude, with just like bits of tape or boots and not much else.
But again, she's a grown woman, and I believe quite an intelligent one, IQ of 140.
So I know even his fans, if you look at his socials, even his fans are like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be a Christian. She's supposed to be your wife. Like, why are you humiliating her like that?
Well, he's treated her like she's a piece of art.
That's a nice way of putting it.
But I wonder if there is indeed a split here, what has caused it. And I think we can go back to, I know you and I have discussed the mansion in Malibu that they started to renovate. She's an architect. That's how he first employed her, and why she went to LA to work with him, and they ended up being married. She was the one walking around that building in charge of the renovations. It went pear-shaped. They lost $40 million on it. Could that be the reason that they are not getting along so well at the moment?
Or maybe she just, wants to cover her breasts occasionally, which I think, is good for everybody.
She paid good money for them. Why
No,
didn't
I
she show
reckon
them
they're
off?
natural. I mean, if they're fake, they're the best fakes I've ever seen. They're good.